Om Shanti. I'm very happy to be with you all today. The subject which they have chosen for me to speak today is on lifestyle. It's a holistic lifestyle for health. Probably I haven't gone through the topic. Many years back there was a conference in Vigyan Bhavan. It was an interdisciplinary conference and every profession was speaking about its own role in the society. So everyone spoke. One of the persons who was engineer by profession, he said, doctors live by diseases in this society, politicians live by dissensions in this society, liars live by quarrels in the society, engineers live by progress in society. But the chief guest, who was a politician and he was an engineer also, he said, rightly said, when there are quarrels in the society, when there are dissensions in the society, when there are diseases in the society, what progress can we have? So we very well know today that it is not the materialistic progress. And we doctors also know that it is not the physical health which is important. But with physical health, you need emotional health, you need your mental health, you need to be socially healthy also, and you need to be spiritually healthy also. That's why the WHO definition which we quote normally says it is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity, but it is the complete well-being. Well-being is related to the quality of life. Well-being physically, mentally, socially and spiritually. So that's why the holistic word has come. Health is a very complex issue. Everyone has to contribute. It is a multifaceted, multidisciplinary approach. Like suppose in India, if we do not have clean water, how many people we know fall sick? We do not have. If you do not have a clean environment, and we talk these days, we have been hearing about the quality of the drugs which are available to us, medicine. They have even proposed that adulterated medicines, people who manufacture it or distribute it, they can be awarded capital punishment. So it's a question of how do we define holistic health. Health, we also know, it's not a static subject. Today we are healthy, tomorrow we may not be healthy. It's a continuous process, ongoing process. And then, when the disease comes to the surface, it has been within the body. हमारे शरीर के अंदर बीमारी काफ़ी देर तक रहती है before it comes to the surface. And even then, doctors also advise you even when you start feeling better, they say, okay, you have to complete the course of the disease. You have to keep taking drugs for 10 days. Like for tuberculosis, we all know. Tuberculosis is a major killer. It has been re-emerging. Most countries of Europe now, tuberculosis has become a problem. Because the medicines have to be taken for 6 months, then 6 to 9 months, then only you can be cured of the bacteria, or the disease can permanently disappear. But then the other factor related to the tuberculosis is that we all get infected with tuberculosis. And tuberculosis can lie dormant for years. It can lie in a sleeping state in the body for years together. But whenever we have stress, whenever we are not taking proper nutrition, or you have some trauma in life, some grief in your family, this disease comes to the surface. So and likewise, physical ill health can affect your mental capacity also. Suppose you have pain in the back, would you be able to concentrate? No. If you have headache, can you work? No. The headache may be because of some stress. Headache may be because of some words which someone has spoken to you and you keep brooding over it. Keep thinking, rethinking about that. The stressful episode may be for a minute, but you keep thinking for days together. So nothing can be separated. What does the holistic word means? That although the whole is sum up of its part, but parts cannot be separated. Body and mind are interconnected and interdependent. We in India we always say, खुशी जैसी खुराक नहीं और चिंता जैसा रोग नहीं. Happiness is the best nourishment and worry is the worst disease. If someone is happy, he will be able to conquer his illness much faster, it has been seen. We call it like we have department of physical body, also we have department of defense. There has been an argument going between people, which is more important, the soil or the seed. People catch the diseases or diseases catch the people. बीमारी को हम पकड़ लेते हैं या बीमारी हमें पकड़ती है, कौन इम्पोर्टेंट है? सो वो सॉइल और सीड का जो फिनोमिना है, it has been going on. So now the research says that it is the sum total, my lifestyle, how I live my life, the way we live our lives has become the principal cause of disease today. What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is determined by how we eat, how we drink, how we interact with people, what is our work, how do we react to situations, what is my attitude, or what I can say कि आपका नज़रिया क्या है किसी चीज़ को देखने का. What is my attitude towards an event, what is my perception. There was a long time back, there was a small anecdote in the Reader's Digest that God called then President of America Bill Clinton and the Cuba's President Fidel Castro and Microsoft's chairman Bill Gates to his presence, and then said, I'm going to destroy the world, tell people. So first the Fidel Castro came on his Cuban network and he said, all along we were wrong. There is bad news and there is worse news. He said the bad news is that all along we were wrong, there is God. And the worst news is he is going to destroy the world. एक बुरी खबर है, एक बहुत बुरी खबर है. Then the Bill Clinton came on the CNN network and he said, there is a good news and there is a bad news. The good news is there is God. And the bad news is he is going to destroy the world. And then the Bill Gates came on his board meeting and he said there is a good news and there is a better news. The good news is I am one of the 3 important people God called me. And the better news is now we don't need to work, we don't need to improve on our software. We can sit relaxed. So that is the attitude. How do we determine the attitude? Like this famous saying, whether the glass is half full or half empty. So that lifestyle is a key issue. If you see in the world market today, the 3 best selling drugs which were in the market, a few years back, one was Indrol, which is a drug for the heart disease to control blood pressure and angina. Then Tagamet for an ulcer drug, which is for stomach ailments, and Valium, a tranquilizer. You see, all these 3 diseases are related to our lifestyle. What is our lifestyle? The amount of sleep which we get, the quality of food which we take. Food is not simply the physical nourishment, but even the mental nourishment, what we see, what we observe, that also goes into our mind. Our perception becomes negative towards events. We become biased towards people. So that negativity, that jealousy, hatred, envy, all these things, they start affecting anger. If we see today, there are 3 major illnesses. One is heart disease, the coronary artery disease, which we say that the arteries get blocked because of the atherosclerosis, because of the cholesterol being deposited in the arteries. The second is cancer, which we still are groping in the dark. We do not know exactly the cause. And the third is the AIDS or HIV scare which we have today. All these three illnesses are related with the, I would say, with lifestyle. What we call the Indian culture, Sanyam or Maryada. Where is that today? So if we see the heart disease, if we take up, unfortunately this is not working. I had some statistics I would have shown you. Heart disease was very rare when I was studying medicine in between 1968 to 72. Then the heart disease was a disease of almost people who were up to the age of 60 years or 55 years. Now I have seen patients at the age of 30 years coming with heart disease and dying of heart disease. Mind it, heart disease, 30% of the patient don't reach hospitals when they get attack. So what is the issue? Issue is prevention. We need to know what are the risk factors for heart disease. We know one of the biggest risk factors is our lifestyle, in which becomes our sedentary habits, the desk job. We hardly do exercise. We don't walk. We become addicted to our computers, our chairs, our work, all that. We hardly have time. We don't have, even if someone says, even if the doctor advises, they say, हमारे पास time नहीं है, फुर्सत नहीं है. And the best way to find time is to get up an hour earlier, which is within our control. If we get up at 6, get up at 5 in the morning. If we get up at 7, get up at 6 in the morning, which we can easily do. So exercise or simple walking does lot of benefits. Not only it improves the blood supply to the heart, but it also removes your stress. Any physical activity, sports or exercise or walking, takes away a lot of our stress. And the doctors and the scientists have researched that just 45 minutes of brisk walking in the morning is good enough. Even if you are able to do it 5 days in a week. 2 days you can miss it if you have some work, if you have some engagement. If you do 5 days in a week, 45 minutes, first 5 minutes you have to walk slowly, next 30 minutes briskly, and then last 5 minutes also slow down. So that is the way we can have, this is what we call the aerobic exercise or the anaerobic. Anaerobic, we use plenty of oxygen and we burn our calories. So 45 minutes of walking in the morning, which we can always find time for ourselves. We can find time for many other things, but we cannot find time for ourselves. Simple exercises. There are certain exercises which you can learn, which you can do even in your office. While sitting on the chair, you can do exercises. So those exercises can be taught. Simple. Then comes the next part is diet. All along we were entirely mistaken that non-vegetarian food is good for health. But now the research says that vegetarian diet, the fats which are derived from the vegetarian source, they are non-saturated or polyunsaturated fats. These fats are good for health, but whatever fats we get from the animal source, including butter and desi ghee, they are saturated fat. Anything which solidifies at room temperature, that is saturated. So saturated fat is not good for people who hardly have any physical activity. All these saturated fats go and get deposited in the arteries, what we call the cholesterol. Cholesterol has 3 or 4 fractions. One is we call the low density lipoproteins, which is more in the saturated fat, which is the harmful, and then is high density lipoproteins, which is useful. And then the other part is very low density, which is again harmful. So you can have your cholesterol analyzed. Simple cholesterol levels may not give you any detail, but when you get your lipid profile, you will know that which quality of cholesterol you have. And the third part is our habits of smoking, alcohol, all these things. Smoking increases the production of harmful cholesterol in the body. Another news which has come is only 30% of the cholesterol comes from the food. Rest 70% is produced within the body from the raw materials. And one of the major issues which is stress. Stress also releases some hormones, what we call the epinephrine and norepinephrine in the body, which breaks down the fats in the body, and then the fats which are not utilized, they get deposited in the arteries. Like in the, suppose you have to catch a train and you are not ready in time, and then you start rushing. People have identified personality types, that there are special kinds of personality which are more at risk to heart disease. And these are the people they call A1, AI. One is anger, the other is impatience. Then is arousal and irritability. See, these people would get, they have a very short fuse. They get irritated very fast. They are always on time, war with time and space. They want to accomplish too much in too little time. They would always catch the plane in the last moment. They would always rush through things. That is what we call the present day business executives, or anyone for that matter. These are the people who are competitive, aggressive, who want to accomplish too much in too little time. And the other thing, other psychological factor which has come to the fore is, we call it cynical mistrust. Cynical, what does cynical word means? In Punjabi we call vehmi, the one who would always keep repeating things. Cynical mistrust, he would not be able to trust anyone. Would like to do everything himself. So these are the people who are more at risk to heart disease. What we call is, the basic issue is that the level of stress is present in our cells. There are people who are never at rest. They are not able to sleep. They do not have good sleep. And when they don't have good sleep during the night time, they are always lethargic during the daytime. They are feeling drowsy. So the quality of sleep also makes a lot of difference. Quality of sleep is very important. If we get good quality of sleep, then it gives relaxation. But how can we get good quality of sleep? If we are able to cut off from the external thoughts at night time. One experiment which I have done with myself is, just dim the light during the night time, sit in meditation for 5 minutes, and then go to sleep. Surrender yourself to God at that time, and go to sleep. And in the morning you get refreshed. Get up when you are completely ready for the new day, because every day is a new beginning for us. So heart disease has no specific cause. It has risk factors. One is our diet, the other is physical activity, the third is stress. And then the other thing is concomitant diseases. There is heredity does play some part. Then hypertension, blood pressure if it is not treated properly. And then diabetes if it is not controlled properly. One has to be very careful with hypertension and diabetes. They may not per se cause any problem, but they are slow diseases. They keep affecting our organs slowly. The hypertension affects our heart, it affects our kidneys, it affects our eyes. So likewise even uncontrolled blood sugar. We may not know. Some people have this misnomer that if they take medicine for 7 days, their blood pressure is controlled, then they can stop the drugs. No, you have to take drugs for all along your life. Whether it is hypertension or whether it is diabetes, you have to keep your blood pressure controlled. Second part is cancer, second disease which is related with lifestyle. That is also, it has been seen people who have vegetarian diet, all yellow skinned fruits, all green vegetables, they have something which we call antioxidants. They protect you from cancer. It has been seen that tomatoes, particularly tomato, has one particular subject which we call element, which is called lycopene. If you steam the tomatoes, just remove the skin, that protects you against prostate cancer. Research has gone into it. Likewise, apples. We have been hearing the story that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple does have lot of beneficial constituents which protects not only against the heart disease, because apple has been seen to metabolize fats faster. If you eat one apple every day, these simple things work much better than complicated things. If you look at the Bangladesh war, the war which liberated Bangladesh, lot of refugees had come and there was a cholera epidemic. No amount of doctors could have worked there, not even but simple things like a solution of sugar, water and salt, that helped so many lives. So simple things work better. If basic focus has to be on preventive and promotive aspect of the healthcare. Prevention of known diseases and promotion of the health in toto, that is more important. There is a statistics which I have on the slide, but then I'll just had. In American Center of Disease Control had statistics that almost only about quality of medical care, means doctors and hospitals, they only determine 10% of your health. Heredity determines 18%. You know, there are certain diseases which run in the families. And environment comes for 19%. But our everyday lifestyle choices, they determine 53% of your health. Means the way we live our lives, that is a major issue. Emotions, there are a couple of people who have come up with a research study, and this has been compiled in a book. They call it immune powered personality. They have come up to the conclusion that there are certain people who fall much less, who have much less sicknesses, who have much less diseases as compared to the other groups. Why? Particularly, they have found out that people who have some social support, some religious inclination, people who are able to have some sense of control over their lives, they have identified that hopelessness is something, jise we can say nirasha or naumidi. The moment you have in your life, that exposes you to more sicknesses and takes you to more of problems. So positivity in life, the nature of helping others, having someone with whom you can share your traumas and sufferings, where you can go and share your confidential things, and then the sense of commitment towards your life, what we call the hardiness of personality. A person who doesn't feel problems are problems, but he makes problems as an opportunities for growth. He takes them as challenges. These are the kind of people who have much less illnesses. Like we say, खुशी बांटने से दुगनी होती है और गम बांटने से आधा होता है. That's what they say, that if you are helping people without any selfish motive, your immune system becomes stronger. Like we say, neki kar aur darya mein dal. Means you do not expect anything in return. And that kind of attitude when people have, that makes your life much more stronger. People have studied the immune cells, the immune system. There is a complete science, what we call psychoneuroimmunology. The psyche means your emotions, your thinking patterns, they affect your nervous system, and nervous system in turn affects your immune system. Likewise, we have been doing a research for last 3 years on heart disease and meditation, in which what we call is, we call people who have documented evidence of heart disease, and these are people who are less than 75 years of age, and these are the people who do not have any other illness with heart disease, and they have not suffered acute heart attack in the last 3 months, and they should have got their angiographies done in 3 months. So we call them to us. They come with their spouses. That is compulsory. If the wife has an illness, the husband has to accompany. If the husband has the illness, the wife has to come in the program. So both of them are invited for 1 week. They come and stay with us. And what we do is very simple things. First day, we teach them what is heart disease, what are the risk factors. The second day, we come to diet, exercise, and what are the stress factors. And then we have sessions like we call opening the mind session, where people open up what has been bothering them, what has been their problem for last so many months or days or years together. They open up. And then we teach them meditation. We teach them how to cook their food. The food is very simple. It is more of fruits, more of coarse grains, like we use unpolished rice. For wheat flour, for making chapatis, we use a mixture of soya, wheat, and bajra and chana. These all in equal parts. With the bran, no, we don't usko chante nahi hai. And then we give them more of fruits. Twice a day we offer them fruits, one at 11 a.m., then in the 4:30 a.m. And during that time, what we do is we measure their biochemistry profile. We measure their stress hormones. We do their brain EEGs. We do their stress test. And this program has been going on for 3 years. They come every 6 months to us. And we have taken care of almost more than 700 patients. Only 2% of the patient dropped out of the study. That means they had to undergo bypass surgery or angioplasty. Rest 90% are carrying on just with this simple exercise, diet and meditation. Richie. One of the patients whom I met yesterday, he was from Chandigarh and he was the general manager of the Chandigarh Cooperative Bank. He was saying his life is very stressful. He suffered heart attack in 2001. He was admitted in PGI Chandigarh. When they did his angiography, they said, you need to go undergo bypass surgery now. You have a bomb sitting in your chest. If you don't take care, it will explode. But he said, no, I am not going bypass surgery. I'll go to Escorts in Delhi and undergo bypass surgery there. Okay, he got admitted in Escorts. As his luck was there, you know, whether we call it bad luck or good luck, he was fixed for surgery next day. The surgery was postponed because there was some emergency. Then again his surgery was fixed up. At least 4 times his surgery was fixed. He was kept fasting. Next morning his surgery would be done, and the surgery was postponed because of some emergency. And finally he got fed up. He said, my bill is being raised every day and it is almost 9 days I have been in hospital. What is this? When would you operate me? They said 4 days later. He says, okay, let me go for 4 days. And he never went back for surgery. And he says when he got his angiography done now, repeat angiography was done about few weeks back in Chandigarh only, PGI Chandigarh. He showed me both the angiographs. All his 6 blocks had opened up. So you can imagine if the physical disease can get regressed just by modifying your lifestyle. We haven't done research on cancer or AIDS, but I am sure if we do research on cancer and AIDS, they would also be modified by lifestyle choices. I was reading a study in which first they had quoted one thing. You know, the AIDS is not a stigma in our country, but it's all over the world. One of the employers, when he asked an employee in Geneva in Switzerland to get his AIDS test done, instead of getting the AIDS test done, he went and committed suicide. You can see what is the stigma of AIDS and what can prevent AIDS. Only simple lifestyle choices. They have seen that it's not all HIV positive patients develop AIDS. There are some people who haven't developed AIDS for 20 years, and they studied their psychological profiles. And these were the people who were fighters, who never gave up. What they got is, they got involved them in the benefit of others. These were the people who were taking care of other HIV positive patients. And they had some unfulfilled mission in their life. So what I am saying is not that lifestyle is the only issue. There are physical causes to diseases. There are physical factors which need to be taken care. But if you see anything which is happening in the world today, whether it is accident, whether it is any kind of crime, whether it is drug addiction, what is the force behind it? It is the people are not having clear direction in their life. They do not have purpose in life. See, we all need some mission in life, some purpose in life, which is beyond the, I would say, it has to transcend the material level, the physical level. We all want to be happy, but how do we accomplish happiness? Happiness is a state of mind, and that state of mind can only be accomplished if we have some mission in life, if we have some purpose in life. If this life carries no meaning, then there will be no happiness. We resort to alcohol or tobacco or drugs. Why do people go to drugs or tobacco or alcohol? Someone asked me a question, why do doctors smoke? Why do doctors drink alcohol? The simple answer is they are not able to manage themselves. If we are able to manage ourselves, we can manage the whole world. If we are able to manage our mind, then we can manage anything. So it's the question of what we call the simplest thing, which we have been hearing, but I never understood, but now I do understand, man jeete jagat jeet. If one is able to conquer his mind, one is able to have a sense of control in his life. And in Gita it comes, Atma apna hi mitra hai aur Atma apna hi shatru hai. We can be our own best friends and we can be our worst foes also. So lifestyle choices, some amount of spirituality, some amount of hobby, some creative thing to do in life, the concept of helping others, all these lifestyle choices, then eating the right kind of diet, doing regular exercise, managing your stress, all these lifestyle, I am sure, can prevent almost 80% of the diseases. Yes, when we have a disease, we need to take medication. We need to follow the doctor's advice. But until and unless we go back to the root cause of problem, we will not be able to cure all the disease. Gandhi ji made a very, I would say, a statement which is very difficult to digest. He said, hospitals are places of sin and doctors are sinners. Why did he say that? Because the health system has to promote the right kind of lifestyle. Unfortunately, today most of the doctors and the hospitals are not promoting the right kind of lifestyle. I've seen doctors, if some alcoholic comes to you and he says, doctor, sharab to main nahi chhod sakta, mujhe bataiye main kaise karu? They'll prescribe him some drugs to protect his liver. So it's a question of, are we giving the right kind of advice to our patient? Doctors are supposed to be teachers also, although they are equated to God, but unfortunately we are nowhere near the gods. It has to be something which is more important, giving the people right advice. I know Dr. Wahi, who was professor of cardiology and director of PGI in Chandigarh. There was a question those days in medical science was coming that small amount of alcohol is good for health. But he said emphatically, I would never advise it to our patients. Where do we draw the line? What is the small amount of alcohol? They say first the man takes the alcohol, then alcohol takes the alcohol, and then alcohol takes the man. So this is a story. The Ayurveda, which has been our, I would say, the ancient system of medicine in India, it very rightly lays emphasis on diet, on sadhana, on exercise, on sanyam, on yoga, on maryada. The hospital where I work now, why did I leave Chandigarh and come here? Because I had a dream. The hospitals have to places where the patients feel good. How many of us, when we go to a modern hospital, we feel good? We feel more sick when we enter a hospital. The hospitals have to give hope to the patients. In the hospital which we manage here, not only we have the mainstream medicine, but we have yoga, we have meditation, we have magnet therapy, we have homeopathy, we have Ayurveda, we do acupressure and acupuncture, all that which can give benefit to the patient. We have used homeopathy to take care of patients with alcohol, tobacco and opium. And our doctors were invited to Punjab, they were invited to Orissa, they were invited to places in Rajasthan to just go and prescribe homeopathic medicine to people who are interested in giving up the habit of tobacco or alcohol or opium. So it's a holistic health hospital. We offer patients yoga for hypertension, yoga for diabetes, aerobics also. We have people who want to control their weight. And this hospital consultation is absolutely free. The poor patients don't have to pay medicines for cost of medicine or surgery or hospital stay. And almost 80% of the patients are provided free care, but 20% of the patients do pay for the cost of the care. And most of the staff who works in the hospital, almost 95% of the staff, they regularly practice meditation. They maintain a lot of equanimity of mind. They work with a peaceful mind and with a cheerful face, whether nurses or technicians or even the people who clean the floors. They are also part of our family. They are taken well care by us. And this is a hospital which has been accepted by the European WHO, the regional headquarters, as a health promoting hospital. And this study which we are doing has been promoted by Ministry of Defense, the Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences. We are going to publish the data. We have completed our study now, and then we would run this program as a regular therapeutic program. And we personally feel and realize that it is the patients who can make themselves healthy, not the doctors, nor the hospital. Likewise, you would very well agree with me that if the crime graph is rising in the society, the solution is not to open more prisons and recruit more police people. So if there are more sick people in the society, the solution is not to have more doctors and hospitals, but to have people good nutrition, good amount of exercise, and right amount of lifestyle. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Any kind of heart attack in the past 3 months. But do you have any treatment for those who have undergone bypass surgery about 15 years back? They can approach you or not?
Yes, they can definitely approach us, because the lifestyle, even after bypass surgery, you need to have the right kind of diet and exercise. So you can always approach us and you can meet our doctor. He'll counsel you on diet, what kind of exercise you do, what kind of meditation you need to do. That will be.